High in the Andes, where the air is thin and history whispers on the wind, lie ancient burial mounds that predate even the mighty Incan Empire. These aren't just mounds of earth. They are repositories of a chilling and persistent mystery. Archaeologists and local explorers have found something deeply unsettling within these earthen tombs. Tiny, child-sized footprints pressed into the dried mud of the inner passages. These footprints all lead in one direction deeper into the darkness. But what's truly terrifying is what's missing. There are no footprints leading out. Not a single one. It's as if the children who made them walked into the heart of the earth and simply vanished. This physical evidence, strange as it is, only scratches the surface of a much darker story, one that has been passed down for generations, whispered in hushed tones around crackling fires. The local oral traditions speak of a creature, a hunched, shadowy thing that roamed the desolate highlands. They don't have a single name for it. It's known by many, all of them spoken with a mix of fear and reverence. They say this entity was drawn to the cold, to the villages shivering through the harsh Andean nights. It would appear at the edge of a settlement, a silhouette against the snow, not as a monster of overt aggression, but as a bringer of a tempting, terrible bargain. The legends describe it offering warmth. Imagine a small, isolated village, families huddled together, their breath turning to frost in the air. The fire is low, and the cold is a physical presence, seeping into your bones. Then, a promise of warmth, of comfort, of an end to the shivering. It was a trade. The creature offered this profound, life-giving warmth in exchange for something seemingly simple: silence. Not the silence of a quiet night, but a deeper, more absolute silence. It wanted the laughter, the cries, the songs of the children. It wanted the lifeblood of the community. The stories say that some children, perhaps drawn by a strange curiosity or a desperate need to escape the biting cold, would follow the hunched figure. They would slip out of their homes, their small feet making those fateful tracks in the mud, and follow it towards the ancient mounds. They were never seen again. Their families would wake to a home that was warmer, strangely, unnervingly comfortable, but also silent. The most vibrant voice in the house would be gone, leaving an emptiness that no amount of physical warmth could ever fill. The community would be left with a chilling bargain fulfilled. But the story doesn't end with their disappearance. That would be a mercy. The elders say the children aren't truly gone. Their voices, they claim, have been stolen and trapped. During the violent mountain storms, when the wind howls and thunder cracks across the peaks like the breaking of bones, locals will stop and listen. They say if you listen closely, beneath the roar of the tempest, you can hear them. Faint, echoing cries carried on the wind, seeming to come from the very heart of the mountains. The voices of children crying out in fear and confusion. And here's the detail that sends a shiver down the spine of anyone who hears it. The languages these voices cry out in are ancient dialects that haven't been spoken in these parts of the Andes for centuries, some for millennia. They are ghost tongues, the languages of the people who first built those burial mounds, the very first communities to encounter the warmth-trading entity. It's as if the creature has been collecting not just children, but their voices, their very essence, hoarding them across countless generations. Each new victim adds another voice to this spectral, sorrowful choir. So what was this creature? A spirit of the cold? A physical entity that fed on the life force of the young? The legends are vague, as legends often are. Some describe it as covered in moss and earth, as if it were part of the landscape itself. Others say it was wrapped in old, tattered wool, its face always hidden in shadow, its form stooped as if carrying a great invisible weight. Perhaps the weight of all the lives it had collected? The one consistent detail is its bargain: warmth for silence. A primal elemental trade. It offered a solution to a physical hardship in exchange for a spiritual and emotional sacrifice. Modern interpretations have tried to rationalize the legend. Could the footprints be part of a ritual we don't understand? A rite of passage that involved children entering these sacred spaces? Perhaps, but that doesn't explain why there are no tracks leading out. It doesn't explain the persistent, cross-generational folklore that describes the same hunched creature, the same sinister bargain. And it certainly doesn't explain the auditory phenomenon reported during storms. Is it just the wind playing tricks on the ear? Pareidolia of sound, where the mind creates patterns from random noise? That's the logical explanation. But for the people who live in the shadows of those mountains, who have grown up with these stories, it is much more than that. It is a warning. It is a piece of living history, a reminder that there are older, stranger things in the world than we can possibly imagine. The mountains themselves are said to hold memory, and in the Andes, those memories sometimes cry out. The burial mounds remain, silent guardians of their secret. The tiny footprints are still there, leading into the dark. And when the storms gather, some people still swear they can hear the lost children of the Andes crying in languages long dead, their voices stolen by the collector, who traded a fleeting moment of warmth for an eternity of silence. What do you think? Is this a powerful folktale designed to keep children from wandering off in a dangerous environment? Or is it the fragmented memory of something real, a predator that once stalked these ancient lands? The truth, like the children, may be lost to the darkness within those mounds. The only thing that remains is the story and the chilling echo on the wind. Thanks for watching. If you find these dives into dark folklore fascinating, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the unknown. Stay safe out there.